welcome back to my G1 Retro Reviews. Today, we're taking a look at the original Transformers series episode, The Core. Not to be confused with the Michael Bay movie.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen! Explosions everywhere! This is easily 100 times cooler than Armageddon! I swear to God!
Oh wait, that's right. He did Armageddon, which is a very similar movie that came out around the same time. To be totally honest, I don't think I've seen either of these movies. Actually, just digging into them now? Digging. Get it? Anyways. So yeah, just doing a quick search on Google, turns out the movie I was thinking of was Deep Impact, not The Core. Armageddon and Deep Impact are both movies about drilling into a big rock in space in order to blow it up with a nuke before it hits the planet and destroys all life on Earth. The Core is about drilling into the Earth itself in order to restart it? What? That doesn't even... Who thought this made any scientific sense at all? Why am I not surprised? Although I will say at least that's another thing that the movie The Core and this episode The Core do have in common. Besides the title and the fact that they're both about drilling into the Earth's molten core, neither of them make one bit of sense scientifically. But I'm getting ahead of myself. In this episode, the Decepticons attempt to drill into the Earth's core in order to tap into its energy or whatever, just as the title of this episode would suggest. But if they aren't careful, they'll end up shattering the Earth, destroying the entire planet. We begin with the Constructicons scrambling to prevent one such shattering from occurring. Megatron then shows Starscream their escape plan in case things go wrong. A secret space bridge to Cybertron, hidden behind a hologram wall. Not unlike the one in Rescue Bots. The Autobots happen to be on patrol when they spot the Constructicons. And here, we can spot an animation error that seems to persist throughout this episode. And that is, for some reason, Prowl is colored gray like Bluestreak instead of his normal white. I wonder what you'd call this sort of Prowl-Bluestreak fusion. Well, you can't call him Blue Prowl. That would imply he's a Blue Prowl. So, I guess Prowl Streak? While the other Autobots battle Devastator, Mirage uses his invisibility to sneak inside and see what the Decepticons are up to. And once back outside...
Catch, Hotshot!
That's Sunstreaker, Mirage. Hotshot isn't even in this series. So Jazz uses his wide hips and flashes his headlights at Devastator in order to distract him. Meanwhile, Sunstreaker and Mirage recreate that scene from Captain America: Civil War.
Hey guys, you ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Jesus, Tony, how old is this guy?
I don't know, I didn't carbon date him, he's on the young side.
You know that part? Where they're on the snow planet? With the walking thingies?
A Dominator disc to override Devastator's circuits.
And bring him under our control!
Devastator, under Autobot control?
Hey, wasn't that my idea from my episode review of Attack of the Autobots? So the Autobots lure the Constructicons outside, and somehow manage to stealthily plant the Dominator discs on each of them. Although, I don't know how they didn't see a bunch of Autobots hiding in potholes. But as they're taking the Optimus Prime elevator up, Camper Starscream hones in on them with his... sniper rifle? Okay, why isn't this an accessory that ever came with one of the Masterpiece Starscreams? Or maybe one of those weapon upgrade kits? But Megatron stays Starscream's hand, or should I say trigger finger.
They think they're going to gain control over Devastator, but I have other plans.
Wait, how does Megatron know the Autobots' plan? We didn't see one of Soundwave's cassettes spying on them. Is there a traitor in the Autobot ranks? So the Decepticons set up an ambush for the Autobots. And when the Constructicons combine into Devastator, Chip and Wheeljack activate their Dominator discs and take control of the Combiner. But Megatron reveals that he has a device that can counteract the Autobots' control. Back at the Autobot base, we see the Constructicons helping the Autobots. Or at least Hook is. Why does this remind me of IDW? So when the Autobots return to stop the Decepticons, Megatron uses his device to reverse the effect on Devastator, returning him back to a Decepticon. In the ensuing chaos, Chip is trapped in a tunnel, but Sunstreaker saves him. This reminds me of that scene in Roll For It where Sonny put Chip on his shoulder. I guess they're good friends. Aww. That's probably why Chip came with Masterpiece Sunstreaker as an accessory. Wheeljack attempts to regain control of Devastator by upping the power on his remote control, but it just causes Devastator to go berserk, damaging the Decepticons' drilling equipment, causing the drill to go out of control, and destroying the space bridge. With no other option, the Autobots and Decepticons are forced to work together to regain control of Devastator and to stop the drill. And in a strangely heroic moment,
Look, guys, if we don't make it, it's been great being part of the team. Hey, we're not scrap iron yet, so don't get drippy. Now, let's transform!
the Constructicons combine into Devastator and dive into the Earth's core to stop it.
What's the matter, Chip?
I guess I was hoping Devastator might join the Autobots for good, but that's probably just a dumb old dream.
Same here, Chip. I mean, we know from the upcoming episode, The Secret of Omega Supreme, that the Constructicons were originally Autobots. Or at least I think they were. I mean, they still have Decepticon logos on them, but I think that's more a result of the bad animation and not having the forethought to take the Decepticon logos off of them in their pre-Robo Smasher state. And like I mentioned earlier, this reminded me of the idea I had in my Attack of the Autobots review, where I thought, what if they had planted one of these attitude exchangers on a Decepticon? Would it make them turn good? It would have been interesting to see the Constructicons be good guys, at least for a little bit. Oh well, this was an okay episode, I guess. The animation really hurt it. Not to mention the fact that the plot of this episode is scientifically unsound. It would be impossible to drill to the Earth's core, because the drill would melt before it even got there. And even if the drill was made out of some kind of magical Cybertronian alloy that didn't melt, drilling into the Earth's core wouldn't crack the planet like an egg. It would just be a relatively tiny hole. And finally, one thing I'd like to point out is Optimus Prime's final line in this episode.
Hang on to your dreams, Chip. The future is built on dreams. Hang on.
This line actually came from a young Transformers fan named Michael back in the 80s, dying of cancer. Apparently, this was the boy's motto, and it touched Peter Cullen so much that they ended up making it a line in the show. So that's very sad and beautiful and special. Well, I didn't mean to end on such a downer, but hey, here's to you, Michael. You are immortalized forever in the series that you loved. So, as always, be sure to let me know what you thought of this G1 episode down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here next time for the next episode of the original Transformers series, The Insecticon Syndrome. So I'll see you back here next week for that.